Since its release and viral boom in popularity, MultiVersus has remained one of the most popular fighting games on Steam from Player First Games and Warner Bros. Interactive. The game follows Super Smash Bros. Fighting game model of classic platform fighters and makes liberal use of Warner Bros. Vast trove of intellectual property to produce a fighting game featuring a cast of characters ranging from LeBron James to Steven Universe. As the game continues to thrive, the developers seem to have high hopes for MultiVersus' live service approach to the genre. The game currently has a roster of 23 characters, but started with 16 when it launched in July 2022. The rate at which MultiVersus releases characters averages just over 1 per month, with 7 characters released in the past 6 months and more on the way. While exciting for the players and excellent from a marketing point of view, such a rapid expansion of the roster runs the serious risk of upsetting the combat balance of the game. For example, when LeBron James was added, a game-changing bug was discovered and the wrestler was temporarily removed from the roster. While it may have been a minor inconvenience for casual gamers, the endless content loop of live service games like MultiVersus runs a real risk of jeopardizing the game's long-term success, especially among players of competitive fighting games. MultiVersus must learn from Super Smash Bros. And focus on balancing the character. Looking at MultiVersus' growing roster, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the most obvious point of comparison. While the games aren't identical, as corporate platform fighters with deep cultural vaults to draw from, they have a lot in common. Both Nintendo and Warner Bros. Competitive games have a seemingly endless array of characters they can add at any time, but as Nintendo learned the hard way, sometimes less can be more. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate became a dominant fighting game that Nintendo clearly intended to be the definitive Smash Bros. Experience, while compromising the character roster and content as little as possible. However, Nintendo has not achieved this success without previous failures. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate appeared in the aftermath of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, whose competitive scene was almost completely destroyed by roster balancing issues. In fact, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, released for the Wii in 2008, was a game almost incapable of having a balanced and thriving competitive scene. Meta Knight's unparalleled superiority over any other character in competitive play, the introduction of travel mechanics, and many other minor gameplay issues have prevented players from creating a competitive scene worthy of the popularity or complexity of Super Smash Bros. Melee. Ultimately, fans would release a modified version of the game that developed a major competitive scene, the now-defunct fan game Project M. But Brawl is representative of the many challenges platform hunter developers face when they deal with a large and diverse list. Maintaining a competitive and casual player base at the same time, and using the same characters and game modes only amplifies these problems. MultiVersus has clearly positioned itself on a similar edge, seeking to offer competitive Smash influencers and their fans a live-action platformer with a character roster meant to appeal to gamers from almost any background. If MultiVersus character releases continue as they have been, developing and preparing new characters at a rate comparable to League of Legends will be a very difficult balancing act. That's not to say the development team at Player First Games can't make it work, as the devs have shown their dedication to the project and continue to produce interesting and varied characters very quickly, but maintaining that level of performance will be that difficult grow with each consecutive character. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and support my channel.